everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So this video we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day tutorial look, and just so you know, this is not one for, you know, the everyday girl, the natural girl who just wants to do a very simple look. This is going to be a pretty intense, a lot of products look, but I will be coming out with a video probably in the next week on a more natural kind of Valentine's Day look. First, my hair is a tragedy today, but if you've got oily skin, this step do not do. I'm just going to be using the Tarte Maracuja oil, and I'm just going to be applying just a little bit of this on my face just to give myself a little bit of moisture, because I have done a lot to my face today. This isn't really for the look in particular. It's just before I go ahead and put all these products on my skin, I just want to have a little bit of moisture. You know what I mean? Okay, and next I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. And this is just a pore filling primer. It's just going to give my makeup a more flawless finish and make sure that my pores are erased like baby skin. So I like to put it just underneath here in my forehead, on my forehead, on my nose, and on my chin, and then like in my smile line area. I don't really worry about my cheeks or anything like that. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade Creamy Natural. Oh, it's already coming out. Oh crap, this is why you need the cap. This is why you need to keep the cap on your foundations. Bad things will happen. Now, if you want a more natural finish, I suggest using the Beauty Blender, but if you're all about the full coverage for this knot, definitely use a brush. I'm using the Zoeva number 102 Silk Finish Brush, and I'm just gonna be dragging this onto my face. Dragging, that doesn't sound like a good word for this. I'm just gonna be applying this to my face. And for concealer, I'm going to be using the Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer in the shade Light. Now this stuff is super thick, so if you have problems creasing or something like that, this probably isn't the one for you, but it's affordable and very full coverage, so that is why I use it. And I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender to blend that out with. Blending that concealer in. Okay, so now I'm going to be cream contouring just a little bit, not too heavily, but I'm going to be using this Measurable Difference palette. It is just their Sculpt Perfection palette. I'm not sure if they still make this or not. I think they do. It's just in a different kind of packaging. But any kind of cream contour that you got, or you don't even have to do this part, but I feel like especially when it's not like this, when you're going to be out and about and you might be a little bit nervous or something like that, you might be sweating a little bit, it's better to have a double layer of something on to where that, like, when the powder wears off, you still got the cream underneath. You know what I mean? So we are going to be dipping into this darkest shade right here. Look at me holding this palette. How about this? That works a little bit better. We're going to be dipping into this one right here with just a little, actually it's a big little synthetic brush. And I'm going to be using that to contour right through here. I'm just going to do just a little bit up here. I don't usually like to contour my forehead, but I do like to add a little bit of warmth to it. And I'm gonna like bring it down just a little bit to where it gives me that kind of appearance rather than just like a, you know what I mean? And then my nose, I'm also just gonna pick it up and lightly start contouring it. Lightly. Psh, this looks very heavy, doesn't it? Back to the Beauty Blender, and we are just literally just going to tap on top of this up here and just blend it, you know what I mean. Okay, on to powder contour. I'm using the Profusion Contour Palette, and I'm going to be picking up the shade Walnut, which is this shade right here. And this is the Zoeva number 1 something. It's the Luxe Cheek Finish Brush. And what I'm going to be doing is just going where I applied that cream contour, and I'm going to start doing like this and kind of follow down with it. It's okay if it doesn't look perfect right now. We're gonna clean that up. And then I'm taking a pencil brush. This is just by BH Cosmetics. It's the number 105. I mean, picking up that same shade and lightly going down my nose with it. Okay, and now that we've finished all of that, we're gonna be baking. And I'm gonna be using the Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is the Translucent Extra Coverage one. You can use whichever kind you got, whatever kind of face powder that you have to bake with. Or you don't have to bake. But if you find that, you know, just setting your foundation how you usually do can get you through the night without having to touch up, or that baking really doesn't do anything for you, you can totally skip this. I just think that it does do a lot for me. I am actually gonna clean this contour up. Just like that. And this is where the oil comes in handy for me, just because this is kind of drying on my face, but since I have that extra layer of moisture onto my face, it's gonna give me a more hydrated look. Nude Awakening palette. I might use a little bit of something else. I don't really know for sure yet. But then we're gonna go in with this shade right here, and that is just going to be the start of our transition shade. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna start blending it up. I'm gonna have to fake a crease because I have no eyeballs. And so just back and forth, just like that. Now we're gonna be picking up this shade right here, which is just that nice, pretty red mahogany berry shade. And we're gonna be doing the same exact thing with that, but bringing it down just a little bit lower, right about in this area. And then on a pencil brush, we're gonna be picking up the shade next to it, which is this like shimmer shade. You typically don't use a shimmer in your crease, but we're going to. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna be super careful with how I place it. I just want it to deepen this area right through here. Just like that. And then just blend it a little bitty bit. Going back in with that brush that we used first. Blending it out lightly. Okay, now once you've got it looking somewhat like this, it's just gonna be kind of blended, smoky, whatever. You're gonna take a little bit of your concealer, foundation, whatever you've got to start carving out a cut crease. And you don't have to apply this all over your lid. You're just gonna start carving it out where you want that line to be. So as you see, once you get to this little corner over here, what you can do is you can either leave it just like this, or you can start winging it out a little bit, which is what I'm gonna do, just a little bitty bit. Okay, now mine's not perfect. I actually like this eye way better than this eye, but you know, sometimes it happens. So now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm taking this e.l.f. Prism Shadow in the shade Sunset. Super sparkly shade there. But first, it's gonna be on a flat synthetic brush, and I'm just gonna be spritzing it with some setting spray. You can use some Fix Plus or some eye drops. And I am just gonna pick that shade up and apply that to, holy moly, to my eyelid, just in that area that we've carved out. So I'm gonna go back into that first shade that first palette that we used and pick up this pink shade right here and hope that this one will come out a little bit prettier. Oh yeah. Okay, so now for the lower lash line, we're gonna be taking that same neutral brown shade, and I'm gonna also just go ahead and mix it with that Pretty Berry shade, and we're just going to go ahead and pop that onto the lower lash line. This is just with a pencil brush, and we're just going to start running it just like this. And then on the inner corner, we're going to be going in with that pretty pink shade and just lightly running it on that first inner third of the eye. Okay, and now we're just going to go in and dust off this powder on our face because it has done its job and now it's time for it to quit. So I'm just going to be taking a powder brush, any kind of powder brush, actually any kind of brush that you've got, and we're just going to start wiping this away. I like to do it like this. Some people like to drag it and stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I'm just using the e.l.f. Brow Kit in Light in this Crown Brow Duo brush, I think is what it's called. Brow Duo, yeah. And I'm just going to start by combing them upwards, just like that, and taking the other side and starting at this tail and filling it in. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some eyeliner. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black, and I'm just going to go in with any kind of flat little angled brush like this that you got, and we're going to do some wing gel liner, or yeah. And where you've done your cut crease, how it's feathered up, just make sure you draw your line towards that way and it's going to come out perfect. I've changed my mind. I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper to do this because my gel liner is about to run out. Not about to run out, but it's a little bit dried out. It's making this very difficult. Okay, I am going to take the leftover gel liner and just lightly line this lower outer portion of my eyeball. Okay, now onto blush. I'm going to be using this All About Blush blush palette. And let me think. I'm probably going to be using this shade right here mixed with this shade right here, just so it's not as pink, but I do want it to be more on a cool tone or neutral side. Okay, so once you are finished with blush, I'm sorry my thing quit recording, I didn't know it, but all I did was put mascara on, so I put my blush and my mascara on. Now we're going on to the highlight. Okay, so since we do have a kind of pink theme happening on my face, I am going to go in with a pink highlight. This is the Wet n Wild I'll Have a Cosmo, but I don't want to look too pink to where I look kind of flushed consistently or something like that, so I'm also going to go in with Becca Moonstone. I'm going to mix them, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use the pink one first and then go in with this one. So this one's kind of on top with a little bit of the pink underneath. And I'm also going to spritz my brush with some setting spray. Get it wet. And we're going to start applying that to the cheeks. Now, if you're not a highlight person, you don't have to do this intense. You can just do a little subtle one and you're good to go. But I am going to try to make this pretty glam. So because the eyes are so dramatic and everything, you don't really want anything on your lips. I mean, obviously you could. Go ahead, do you, girl. But, I mean, I'm going to be eating and everything on Valentine's Day, so my lipstick's going to wear off regardless. I feel like going a little bit more subtle with the lips will do the rest of the face a lot of justice. So, I'm going to be taking the I'm going to be taking the Maybelline lipstick in Cinnamon, and it's number 935. I don't know if they still have this or not, hopefully, but any kind of nude, and this has a little bit of gray undertones to it. And then I'm going to top it with the Baby Lips Moisturizing Lip Gloss in the shade Taupe With Me. And that is pretty much my makeup look. So let me take down this hair of mine. I don't even know what's going on. Wait, I didn't put false lashes on. Hold up. Okay, so I just went ahead and put on these little lashes right here. These are the Kiss in the style Flirty. I just put them little bad boys on. And we also cannot forget setting spray or something to hydrate your face with. So, and for setting spray, I'm going to go in with the Hard Candy setting spray, the one I've been using this entire time. And we're just going to set your face. Make sure that it is nice and ready to go for Valentine's Day. So anyways, this is my first Valentine's look of the year, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun filming it. I really enjoy creating something new and using different palettes and trying to come up with different looks. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like and subscribe. And if you didn't, let me know why so I can improve. Let me know what other kind of looks you would like to see. And yeah, I hope you have a great day and God bless.